So, hey up everybody, you join me in the car again, and today we're on our way to CM Tuning. CM Tuning is an MRC dealer who are based in Leeds. We're off to go see Chris, and we're going to be looking around his Golf R, which is a Mark 7.5 Estate, and I profess this to be possibly the best all-around car that money can buy. 10 minutes away. I'll catch up with you guys once there. We'll have a look around. We're going to go out in the car for a bit of a drive, and then we'll have a look over some of the features and some of the stuff that Chris has done to the car. And whilst we're on the way there, it'd be rude not to do this. So we've arrived at CM Tuning. We're going to have a look at the shop, have a look around some of the cars that are in here. Then we're going to take a look at Chris's Mark 7.5 Golf R Estate, have a talk around some of the things that he's done to the car. Then we'll go out for a drive in it, see what it feels like, and then we'll come up with a bit of a review at the end, just to summarise why that car over there is the best daily car that you can get. So we're just going to start having a look around the car now. There's Chris's shop there, so shout out to CM Tuning. So as I mentioned, it's a 2017, so the later model, the 67 plate. It's a 7.5 Golf R Estate. Now this is one which has been excluded from the WLTP problem, so it's actually the 310 PS car. It's had a couple of modifications done to it. It's had a panel filter, a performance panel filter at that, and then the TurboTechnics Turbo to intake hose, in addition to an MRC Stage 1 ECU and TCU remap as well. So it's lovely in pure white. We've got the 18-inch Cadiz wheels as well. One thing that I really liked about the Mark 7.5 are these sort of black accents that run through the car. I think it's just a bit more aggressive, more so than the Mark 7 anyway. Here he is, Chris is repping the CM Tuning sticker. In general, these cars are lovely to look at. I did actually consider an Estate myself, but it'd be wasted. I mean, there's only myself and probably my girlfriend in the car, so it's pointless me getting one. Got the quad tailpipes there as well. I'm a fan of this roof rack as well. It is just a general lovely car. Chris has been cleaning it this morning, and it is not late in the morning, it's fairly early, so thank you for that. And of course with the Estate you get an absolute shed load of boot room. I mean, if you imagine that the normal Golf finishes around here, this extra bit there is just complete room. There's always been a bit of a soft spot for the Estates. You don't see many of them around. I mean, some of you guys may see them more so than I, but I just think it looks really smart, especially in the pure white colour. So we briefly talked about boot space. We're just going to open this up. We'll look inside of there. There's an absolute ton. It's ridiculous. I'd say that this car can do 0 to 60 in roughly 5 seconds, probably even quicker with the bits that Chris has added onto this car. It's an absolute monster. It's one of the reasons why I called it the best daily you can get. I mean, plenty of space, 4-wheel drive, albeit not 4-wheel drive, you know, all of the time. 2-litre turbocharged engine with 310 PS, so about 306 brake horsepower there or thereabouts. We're looking at roughly 370 to 380 with the MRC stuff on, and it's an absolute animal. I've been out in this car before. Chris took me out in it when I came to visit him a couple of weeks ago, and to say I was impressed is an understatement. So it's just a bit of a closer view of the new digital system here as well. As you can see, it's all digital. I'm really a fan of these. I just think it's really smart, and in addition to this part here, which just looks a bit more integrated than the one that's in my car. It's really good, especially with all the piano black. It's worth noting though that you've got to have the fingers of a fairy not to scratch this stuff when you're cleaning it. It's an absolute nightmare sometimes. So we're just going to have a quick look under the bonnet. So let's just walk through. There we are. So from a distance then, it just looks completely standard. Inside there we've got a performance panel filter, and as you can see here we've got the TurboTechnics pipe that go, so that completely replaces the turbo elbow as opposed to having to get an additional turbo elbow as well. And it also gives you options if you wanted to go big turbo instead of the standard one. So one of the big questions that a lot of Golf R owners get when they're picking a car is what are the security like on these. So yes, they are a valuable car, yes they are targeted in certain areas of the UK, but there are things that you can do just to prevent it. So you've got the auto watch ghost, we've got the Pandora car alarms, just a simple steering lock like I've got in my car, or you can just invest in some home security. That's probably your best bet, just to sort of warn thieves off as well. I mean, naturally with owning the car you will see them quite a lot, and you'll see stories about people's cars getting nicked, and if you're in that circle then you're going to see it even more than if you're not. As I said, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of BMWs and plenty of Mercedes and plenty of Range Rovers that get stolen, but because I'm not in that particular circle you won't hear about it. So we're just going to have a quick drive in the car. You're going to see what the acceleration's like and a bit of the sound as well, so let's get in it. So we're just going on a bit of a drive just to see what the car is like. As I said to you guys earlier, this is the new MIB system. It's got the performance monitor on there as well, and it looks really good. You can get them retrofitted on the Mark 7s as well, but they are a bit pricey. More cyclists. God. So yeah, I actually mentioned this to Chris before, but the difference between the Stage 1 and the stock of mine, I know this one's the 310 version, but you can definitely tell it's been tuned. It's very quick, and it definitely pins you back in your seat as well. And one thing that I mentioned about the Golf previously is that the car just seems to pull, and it just doesn't stop pulling. And the effect is a lot stronger with this one as well, so really impressed with the feel of it. So we're just going to do a quick launch. The SC is being turned off. Looking forward to this. Chris has just been showing me this, as you can see here. It looks to be around 390. I mean, Chris has just mentioned this was in DIN, and cars tend to run a little bit higher in DIN, but the draggy times that he got, was it 3.62? 3.67. 3.67, which for a Stage 1 car is very impressive. So guys, we're back in my car now. Thank you very much, Chris, for letting me go out in it. The launch that we did was brutal. Chris mentioned that his tyres do need changing, but even then it gripped and just went. The draggy tyres which he had were 3.67, and it ran on awesome GTI's dyno, the MQB dyno day, a bit earlier this year, around 390. Chris said he's expecting it to be around 382 to sort of 380, that sort of mark. But even then, for a Stage 1 car, it's very impressive. You've got a bit of extra weight. Mine, as you can see, mine's a 5-door, got the doors at the back there, but it's a bit of extra weight on top of my car in the Estate. but it just moved, and it pulls and it pulls, and it sort of brings me back to this point where I mentioned about it being the ultimate daily or the ultimate all-round car. And that's simply because it's got everything. And you know, there are cars that do it as well. We've got the RS6, you've got the Giulia Quadrifoglio, but in terms of this price point, you can pick them up for maybe 25, 26 grand now. You can get the Mark 7 versions a little bit less than that, and you can get the Mark 7.5s between that and 30,000, depending on the age and the mileage as well. But say you've got so much room in the back, you've got the back doors, you've got all the sort of niceties of having the interior, you've got that lovely 2-litre 4-banger motor in the front there. And especially if you bang a little bit of a tune on it, you're not going to lose too much in the terms of miles per gallon if you're on the motorway. You just might want to drive it a little bit harder. DSG box, absolutely fantastic. Really impressed with the new DSG box that's come in the Mark 7.5s. It's just very smooth. You've got that extra gear for when you're cruising, and I think it's something that this car in particular misses and the Mark 7 misses. Obviously manuals, that's a completely different story. But yeah, I want you guys to let me know what you think is a better daily car than a Mark 7.5 Estate with a bit of a tune on it, 0 to 60 in 3.67 seconds, and top speed of God knows what, probably over 155. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd be interested to find out what you guys think is the ultimate daily. Take into account the price and the running costs and everything like that as well. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click like and subscribe. Keep up to date with what I'm doing. We did have another video planned for today, but unfortunately one of the guys couldn't attend, so we're looking at rearranging that as well. But until next time, I'll see you then.